If you're hosting this Christmas, this definitely shouldn't mean that your guests get to have all the fun while you're juggling pots and pans. So, in today's video, I'm sharing 4 things you need to do that will totally transform how you feel about hosting this Christmas. Think less stress and actually having the time to sit down and enjoy your own Christmas day, which is a gift future you will thank you for. So first things first, you need to take some time to plan your Christmas day. Start simple. Just plan your Christmas dinner menu. Then you can plan your to-do list for the few days leading up to Christmas. Now, I like to break this into what has to be done versus what you'd like to do. But as a mum of 2 young kids, there's always, and I mean always, something that needs to be done in the house. But do you know what? Sometimes that can wait in favor of cuddling up to a Christmas film instead. Now, plan also what needs to be defrosted and when, especially if you've got a frozen turkey, because they can take a few days to defrost. Frozen turkey on Christmas morning is really a stress you could do without. Now, I'm also a little bit extra and I like to plan a Christmas Day breakfast. Now, I said I've got young kids, so Christmas morning is really, really special time in our house, which in my opinion deserves a special kind of breakfast, but not one that involves me cooking. So make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be uploading one in a couple of weeks where I show you what make-ahead breakfast I'm planning on serving my kids on Christmas morning. And it might not even cross your mind normally, but have a, albeit very loose, plan with what you're going to do with your leftovers, because if you're anything like me, we get sick of cheese and biscuits around day 3 and vow to never touch them again until next Christmas. But it's good to have a plan with what you're doing with your leftovers so that you can put them in the freezer if that's what you're going to do. You can cook with them if that's what you're going to do. Or you can make sure you've also got the ingredients to make those leftovers. So if you're planning on having an ultimate leftover turkey dinner sandwich, it's no better than with some crusty bloomer bread on lettuce, and it's quite easy to forget those things in the midst of the Christmas chaos. Now, by the way, you can download all of the checklists that I've shown today. I've popped a link in the description below. Now, this is probably the biggest game changer between a stress-free Christmas day that runs smoothly and one that has you stressed and hot and bothered in the kitchen, and that is prepping your food in advance. You don't need to reach for expensive, shop-bought, pre-prepared items to get out of spending all of Christmas morning in the kitchen. There is so much you can prep in advance, and I'm a mum of 2 young kids. I'm not talking about swapping out Christmas morning prep to Christmas Eve because it might be controversial. I actually prefer Christmas Eve. But I'm talking prep you can do weeks in advance. Now, there's only 2 things I will prep personally on Christmas Eve, and that is getting the turkey prepped before cooking and the Yorkshire pudding batter. Everything else will get prepped ahead weeks before, and I'm talking weeks, from the roast potatoes, the pigs in blankets, the gravy, the carrots and parsnips, the Brussels sprouts, red cabbage, cauliflower cheese, bread sauce, even the cheesecake will serve for dessert. And if you're not sure where to start, then you're in the right place because that's pretty much what I'm going to be covering from now until Christmas. But honestly, do not underestimate how much you can do in advance, because once you realize it's such a game changer, and not only will it free up your time on the days it actually matters, it will help you spread out the cost of the Christmas food too. Now, I once had someone say to me on a video, why would you prepare pigs in blankets in advance when they take 5 minutes to roll? And my answer is really simple, because even those 5 minutes on Christmas Day, if that's all it takes, on Christmas morning is special time with my kids. But even if it does take just 5 minutes, what about the clear up time? I want an empty dishwasher when I cook Christmas dinner. But you also need to allow the fact that you're then relying on those items turning up on your Christmas shop. And that's definitely a stress I could do without. Just make sure, though, you keep a note of what you have prepped and what needs defrosting so you don't forget. Okay, third up is making sure you have enough of everything, and I mean everything. So there's the obvious things like making sure you have a dish large enough for your turkey, making sure you've got enough food to go around, drinks and wrapping paper. But don't forget about all the other bits you need. So You need to make sure you've got enough chairs for everyone to sit on, enough plates, cutlery, glasses, even a bottle opener, serving spoons, to things like batteries for the kids' toys, to even making sure you have enough toilet roll for the guests. Timing, as they say, is everything. And when it comes to timings on Christmas Day, you need to have a think about all those different timings, how they'll come together. So for example, how long it'll take to cook your turkey, what time you want to eat, what time different foods all need to go in the oven. So I always start off with what time you want to eat, and then you can work it backwards and plan your own Christmas Day and Christmas dinner timeline. So I've created one which is linked in the link below, but once you know what time guests are arriving, you can then figure out what time you want to eat and work it backwards as to what time different foods need to go in the oven. So for example, if we want to eat at 1:15 and we have a 6 kilogram turkey, we know this will take around 4 hours to cook. So working backwards, this will mean it will need to come out of the fridge around 7:30, so it's ready to go in the oven around 8:15. This will then be cooked in time to allow it to rest for about 30 to 45 minutes before we then carve it at 1 o'clock, and so on. Now, timings keep everything moving smoothly, so you're not stressing out in the kitchen, and it also means you're not overcooking or undercooking and can join in the fun because you know what needs to be done and when. Anyway, I hope you found those tips useful because I'm here for an easy, stress-free Christmas. Now, if you want a copy of any of my Make Ahead recipes, checklists, or even my full Christmas dinner timeline, then click on the link in the description below and make sure you subscribe to my channel because I've got lots more Christmas cooking content coming your way.